My name's Shelly Kester. I'm a family law attorney in Traverse City, Michigan, and I joined HTM in October 2021, so it's been 6 months. Well, I had been a family law attorney since about 1992, and like a lot of lawyers, I didn't know anything about how to run a business. I just did it by intuition and hard work. I did believe in the doctrine of sacrifice, and so I'd work lots of hours. My firm grossed $1 million in 2019 for the first year, and my firm had always increased revenue every year before I joined HTM, except for 2020 when COVID hit and we dropped down to about $830,000 a year. But I had reached a point in my practice where I really didn't know what more I could do to raise revenue or grow the firm. I really could not expand my work-life hours, and I had no work-life balance whatsoever, and I wasn't getting any younger. I was also worried about funding my retirement, and I had a business manager who was very toxic and really created some HR employee relationship problems for me. It was making hiring very difficult as well, and I was worried about retention. Lisa Speaker referred me to how to manage, and I'm so grateful for her because now I feel like I've really come into who I really am, and I didn't even know what I didn't know. I didn't know it was possible. And it really has brought great joy to my life, thinking about I can have a fulfilled life doing what I really always dreamed to do. I just didn't know where the door was. Now I do. So I did boot camp, and then I went to Seattle, and that was amazing. It was my first LQM. I attended the second LQM virtually. In between there, I was doing Small Law Firm University. And what I liked about Small Law Firm University was that it really helped me take the boot camp exercise and have a deeper understanding of the parts of the business. And when you don't know about a business, really understanding that more deeply is really helpful. And there was also this sense of urgency that I needed to understand and get all this work done while running my practice that I had been working so hard in. And I think Small Law Firm University was really helpful to me to figure out how I transitioned from being a person who worked in my business to a person who worked on my business. And I think if I would have just jumped ahead, I wouldn't have been able, I would have been overwhelmed completely on making that transition. So I think Small Law Firm University was a really great way to take me from that point to the next point, and then help me focus on completing my business plan, or at least try to. I didn't get it all done by the time of my LQM in January. But there were so many things about Small Law Firm University that were valuable to me. And I was just thinking about not only was the mindset helpful in terms of that transition, but I was going through a lot of change. I parted ways with my toxic business manager, and I had Bob there, my advisor, and my other teammates to help me through that. I then discovered that my business manager had not reconciled accounts and that I was really going to need some help to go through the work I thought she was doing. And it was so comforting to have Bob there. It was very calm and assuring and gave me great action steps on what I could take. That's just the tip of the iceberg on the things I learned in Small Law Firm University. I didn't know what to expect fully in Small Law Firm University. And I didn't really know what was coming around the corner because there was so much to do. And as things would happen in my practice, it was very stressful, and I think we're all high achievers, and so we want to do everything really well, but where to turn. And so it was nice to have the structure of Small Law Firm University where every week I knew when I was going to meet, I knew when I was going to work on my business, and I knew that if I had a problem, I could talk to my advisor in that session. And I could also reach out to my bubble mates in Small Law Firm University who have become among my closest friends. So in subsequent LQMs, it's like old home week. We can just email, text to contact each other on Facebook group or on the forum. And it's, they understand where you were, so they're your people. And so Small Law Firm University has been really terrific, both in that you have an access to an expert without being in a workshop or a higher level program. You can have that resource for you just as you need it. You're never really left hanging. Things are drastically different since I started at HTM. I no longer have my toxic business manager. I have doubled my staff. I now have 3 lawyers. I went from 2 paralegals to 4 paralegals. I have an office administrator who gets along well with all my staff. We're attracting employees. We've got a billing collection specialist I didn't have. We have an intake law clerk who's coming in. and I have a clear direction and vision about the additional hires I need to do. In the year that I joined HTM, I was on track to make about 830. It helped me cross $1 million mark again in 2021. We were at $1,030,000, which was higher than the 2019 revenue level. My goal for this year is $2 million. And through the PPM program, it's been amazing. I didn't even know that resource was there, but it's really been phenomenal. I'm contracted to buy a second satellite office. So we're expanding our team and we're expanding our market. We're redoing our website. We have implemented policies and procedures that we didn't have. We've run a state of the firm where I involved all my employees, and we talked about our firm values, and we instituted descriptors of what that means, and we're carrying that forward in our magic statement and in our communications with our clients. And it sort of helps the team as we're doing stressful family law work to remember our values, and it sort of softens things. And I think there's been greater engagement by the team, and it's really helped me turn a ship around, and I really needed to, going from a toxic business manager who had a lot of personnel issues to a team now that feels really engaged and that they're part of the process and there's a lot of buy-in, and they trust me more because I'm responding to them. We've also increased our employee benefits, given some raises, given reviews. It's a lot more friendly environment. My personality can come through, and the firm is actually more an expression of me than my complete irresponsible delegation of responsibility to my toxic business manager, who I thought knew more than me. And as it turns out, with the support of HTM, I can take the training and I can do a much better job. But also, I really feel unbounded, or that I'm not limited by the stories I was telling myself about what was possible or what I could do. And I'm not worried anymore about what people think about my big dreams. So I'm pursuing my absolute big dream. It's amazing, and it really doesn't matter what people think. It's my big dream, and I'm going after it, and I would never have done it. Would have done it. I wouldn't have thought it possible without HTM. So that's kind of a life-changing thing. It's amazing. I have 10 years probably left in my career before my husband will want me to retire. So I am going all in, full on, to the final 10 years, and just see what I'm capable of doing. And there's so much joy. It's like running. It's like so much joy to be free, to just pursue whatever you can accomplish. So I'm full of gratitude to HTM.